Not every moment at WrestleMania is magical. Over the years, some matches have disappointed, frustrated fans, and even tarnished legacies. Today, we'll revisit some of the worst matches in WrestleMania history, with clear explanations of what went wrong. John Cena vs. Cody Rhodes, WrestleMania 41. The match between John Cena and Cody Rhodes was one of the biggest disappointments of WrestleMania 41, especially considering it was the main event. The confrontation seemed to have incredible potential, but what we got was a match that fell far below expectations. The main problem was that there was no suspense. Everyone knew Cena would win, especially with the 17-time World Championship record on the line. The way it was done, however, was extremely lackluster. The build-up to the match was weak, and the big name of the night, Cena, failed to bring the energy of a true main event. The most disappointing part was that Travis Scott made an appearance, while The Rock, who was involved in the storyline, didn't even show up. There's speculation that this might have been due to his packed schedule, but this only added to the frustration of the fans. Of all the matches that marked the night, the triple threat men's match between Bianca Belair, Io Sky, and Rhea Ripley, without a doubt superior with more emotion and twists. The Cena vs. Cody match had many potential paths to be exciting and memorable, but in the end, the WWE's planning failed, resulting in a poor finish.
And Cena begging off. What is Cody Rhodes going to choose?
Come on!
And he no problem being a bad guy. John Cena has set the record.
Ever witnessed in this industry.
Wait, I agree with
Roman Reigns vs. The Undertaker, WrestleMania 33. When the ending didn't do justice to the legend. This match was supposed to be the ultimate passing of the torch. The Undertaker, a symbol of WrestleMania, faced Roman Reigns in the main event. But what was meant to be an epic confrontation turned into a slow, sad, and disorganized spectacle. The Undertaker was clearly out of shape, making visible mistakes and seeming lost at times. The atmosphere in the stadium was one of frustration. In the end, Reigns won, and the Deadman left his hat in the ring, a symbolic gesture of retirement that was later reversed. Everything seemed poorly planned, poorly ending a glorious era.
Out here, momentum. Oh man! To the heart of the Undertaker and Roman Reigns. The deed to the yard apparently has changed hands.
Gunther vs. Jey Uso, WrestleMania 41. If the main event was disappointing, the match between Gunther and Jey Uso, which opened WrestleMania, was no different. The match was slow and lacked surprises. Jey Uso's entrance with the Yeet was far too long and slowed down a match that already had low expectations. The finishers were poorly executed, which diminished the impact of several key moments in the match. And the worst part was the finish, where Gunther, the great champion, was humiliated by tapping out in less than 5 seconds. This finish was utterly unnecessary and reduced all the work Gunther had built up until that point to nothing. This kind of decision undoubtedly tarnished the image of one of WWE's greatest talents. What should have been an epic match, with Gunther defending his title against Jey Uso, turned out to be a fight without emotion, energy, and an extremely poorly planned conclusion.
And Jey Uso, now look at the referee Bennett. Uso splash! One here. A second Uso going for the trifecta in Vegas. Connects this time.
Baron Corbin ends Kurt Angle's career, WrestleMania 35. The goodbye no one asked for. Kurt Angle, one of the greatest technicians in wrestling history, announced that he would have his final match at WrestleMania. Fans speculated names like John Cena or even Brock Lesnar. But WWE opted for Baron Corbin, a heel without much prestige at the time. The match was short, emotionless, and ended with Corbin winning clean. The crowd reacted coldly, and many considered it a disrespectful end to Angle's legacy. It was an anticlimactic conclusion for an Olympic icon and world champion.
Up top rope, and there's the German suplex. Angle slam on the way. No. Corbin lands on his feet out. Wow. Big boot.
Michael Cole vs. Jerry Lawler, WrestleMania 27, a joke that lasted too long. This match between two commentators was pure absurdity. Jerry Lawler, a veteran of the ring, faced Michael Cole with no wrestling experience. What started as a joke stretched on for over 13 minutes. The match was clumsy, with unnecessary interference from Jack Swagger and a confusing finish. Lawler won, but the anonymous general manager overturned the decision. The crowd was perplexed. It was considered one of the most irrelevant and embarrassing matches in the history of the event.
This is not good right here.
No! Right.
Everything he deserves.
It's a vintage John Lawler!
Brock Lesnar vs. Dean Ambrose, WrestleMania 32. The chaos that never came. Expectations were high. A street fight between the Beast Incarnate and the Lunatic Fringe. Dean Ambrose promised extreme violence and asked Mick Foley and Terry Funk for legendary weapons. But the result was a lackluster, short match with few spots. Lesnar dominated in a basic manner, not exploring the hardcore stipulation. Ambrose barely had any offense. The frustration was palpable. It seemed like neither of them tried to deliver something special. Later, Ambrose revealed that Lesnar didn't want to get too involved in the build-up of the match.
Look at this guy! German suplex out of the chairs! F5!
John Cena vs. Bray Wyatt, WrestleMania 36 misunderstood psychedelia. During the pandemic, WWE innovated with cinematic matches, but the Firefly Funhouse match between Cena and Wyatt confused even the most loyal fans. Instead of a match, it was a surreal journey through Cena's career, with references breaking the fourth wall, sketches, and symbolism. For some, it was art. For others, a huge waste of time. Cena didn't even land any moves. There wasn't a real match, just a visual spectacle that deeply divided public opinion.
For John Cena!
Kane vs. the Great Khali, WrestleMania 23 slow motion in the form of a match. This match is remembered for everything that shouldn't happen at WrestleMania. Lack of chemistry, extreme slowness, and a predictable finish. Kane tried to carry the match with his experience, but Khali, limited in the ring, could barely move. The moves were slow, lacked impact, and the crowd reacted with boredom. Khali won after a simple move, without any emotion. A technical disaster that left many wondering why this match was even on the card.
Khali delivered on Kane, and Khali slamming Kane. Hey, wait a minute, look out! Oh no! Look out! Oh, and look at this cover!
John Cena vs. The Undertaker, WrestleMania 34. The encounter that came too late. For weeks, Cena challenged the Deadman, but received no response. It seemed like it was building to something epic. But on the night of the event, Taker showed up and destroyed Cena in less than 3 minutes. It was almost a squash match. The fans were stunned, but not in a good way. Many wanted to see both icons exchanging blows in a long, intense match. What they got was a lightning-fast segment, more of a fan service than a worthy showdown of both legacies.
Inspired tonight, the goosebumps of Undertaker coming down the road. Down goes side. Choke slam. Tombstone.
Not always does WrestleMania deliver historic moments in the right way. Sometimes creative decisions, poor executions, or simply the disinterest of those involved create true disasters in the ring. And that's why these matches continue to be remembered as warnings of what not to repeat. Do you agree with the list? Did we miss any disastrous match? Leave a comment below.